case one gets corrupted if I power on and off too quickly. So I'll get into a battle almost right away. It beats walking like an additional 60 steps.
Gotta love cartridge-based games.
Yeah. Oh man, it loads like that. That's one of the best parts about this game. From power on, you can be on the field in like 1 second.
Can't do that in FF9.
So I'm gonna waste a little time here just to make sure I have the same situation as I'm used to. Just gonna redundantly heal, get his MP, he's topped off. I don't think it's quite necessary. All right, come on, guy. There we go. But just in case, I just really want to be comfortable with what I'm used to here. Okay, I think we're back. So we're gonna get in. So since I powered on and off at that point, I'm not gonna power on and off again for a little while. So I have to start keeping track of my steps again. Just gonna get into 2 more random battles and then position myself above the next town before the next random battle. Enter the town. Yeah, random battle. And the amount of steps that I'm taking right here should be just enough so that when I enter the next dungeon, I'll be 1 step ahead of the next battle. Because the next dungeon has a relatively high encounter rate. Just a little bit of optimization there, so I don't have to get into as many battles in the next dungeon.
I can't remember, did 3 have a lot of forced encounter panels like 1 did?
Yes. The types of enemies that can appear are fixed. Like, the first battle after powering on and off will be such and such enemy. The second battle will be such and such enemy. But the number of enemies that appear is more random. Alright. Battle. Okay. And the actions everything takes in battle is also random. But you can kind of manipulate that too. It's a little harder. You can usually manipulate the very first battle you get into after a power on and off. And I'll be doing that to guarantee that I get certain drops later on. So I need to make sure to remember to cast Mini before entering this town. It's the only way to enter this town. Alright, and the strat here is to buy an antidote and a bunch of potions. Potions will just be to skip a few battles once I run out of MP in a little bit, and the antidote is used to access the exit of this area. 1 antidote, and I'm going to buy a couple of potions here. And I'll rest up just to top off my MP again. Mostly I need to rest up because PJ gained a few levels and unlocked a couple of extra MP points for level 3 magic. But he'll start off at 0 until I heal. So now he has 3 level 3 MP, allowing me to cast Ice 2 on the next boss fight. So here's the exit. I'm going to pick up a Cure 2 spell on the way. I'll also be able to glitch this spell into a more useful spell. I'll explain that once I get there.
One big bed for such a small person.
Yeah. And then this is the hidden road. So of course to enter this town and going through this dungeon, you have to be in mini status. You can't recover from it. So if I did this right, there should be no battles for a little bit. This is a very high encounter rate area as well, so that's very nice. So here's the first battle. And these battles are tough. Like, when you're in mini status, your attack power drops to 0. So the game expects you to fight all these battles with spells. And my guys are so weak right now, I would pretty much die. And battles are almost impossible to run from in this game. Okay. Movement and accidentally getting into battles have become less critical once I have Fiesel decked out. 1, 2. Alright, so battle will happen within 2 steps right there. That's how high of an encounter rate this place is. But that's it for the hidden road. And before we go fight Big Rat, we have to pass through the Viking base. And conveniently, there is Ice 2, Fire 2, and Bolt 2 stashed in some chests here. I'm just going to grab Ice 2 and be on my way. So the main reason why I run this game is because the music is awesome, pretty much.
Good reason.
I like to say that this is a let's listen to the FF3 soundtrack speedrun. we on pirate RNG here? All right, not too bad. This pirate can wedge himself in this exit sometimes, making it really just a pain to get out. Alright, safety save here. I'm also going to teach Ice 2 to PJ before I forget. This is just in case I mess up the next section. So I'm heading to the Nepto Shrine. This place also has to be entered in mini status, conveniently enough. So, see how there's a bunch of water surrounding this spot? For some reason, if you try to move onto a water tile, it increments your step counter by 1 for every frame that you attempt to move onto it. So, I want to be very careful when moving around water tiles, because I can't predict how long I would hold the button against it if I do that on accident, and it would just throw off my steps, and suddenly encounters would occur much earlier than they should. So we're heading to Big Rat. So all of that setup in the Jin fight earlier, all that intricate glitching and menu, the filling up the inventory and stuff, was just to be able to survive this fight. But with 3 Ice 2s, relatively high skill level, I should be able to survive it. Relatively high, it's like 150.
Great boss.
So I just drop a potion on him just in case he can, Ice 2 him twice in a row if I'm really unlucky. And I also have an additional Zeus Rage just to top off some damage in case the Ice 2 gives me bad damage. That's great damage. Holy crap. I might be able to one around him. Oh man, that would have been awesome, but I didn't. So he knew Flicky, that's alright. No big deal.
I love how the mini dead guy is flat.
Yeah, it's this cheese. So you see how much damage he did with Ice 2? That's why I casted a potion on the previous round, just in case. But I did plenty of damage in that fight to finish him in 2 minutes. So that was all of the early game setup, was just surviving that fight.
Don't forget to
Get out of here.
catch
I don't-
that eye.
I don't have the exit spell right now, so I have to walk back. Kind of a pain. 3rd pillar from the corner. All right, there it is. Now I'm out of cure spells. That's why I bought a few additional potions, so I can use potions to skip battles. Again, using a potion or casting a spell on the field will increment the step counter by 1. So if you're 1 step before a battle, you skip it. It's just a simple matter of memorizing where every battle happens at. Or do what I'm doing and take a whole bunch of screenshots and watch a guide while you play the game. Out of the Nepto Shrine. Use the eye. Always, if you don't use the eye, the whole point of doing this, there was that ship there. If you played this game before, if you take the ship and attempt to leave, you get into a battle with Nepto, which is unwinnable, and you pretty much die. So you have to do all that stuff to be able to leave that area. So now we can ride the ship. Should be a battle right here. So now I'm finally on the world map where enemies can drop potions. But I didn't have enough cash to buy 99 potions before. But for some reason, this abandoned castle, this has tons of cash stashed in it. So I'm just going to loot the place. When I save everybody, they don't seem to mind.
You got to get paid somehow.
Yeah.
Just look in advance.
Yeah, payment in advance, that's right.
That's a trend in every single house in RPGs.
There's like 13k gil here. It's a ton. Plenty of money for potions. Oh, that was 100. I should pick up that first chest. Kind of a waste of time, but whatever. Oops, took 2 additional steps, but steps don't make that big of a deal at this point. I'm not too worried. It might force me into a battle before this town, but I just do... I can deal with that by saving and resetting a little bit. Alright, here we go. So I want to stop about right there. I think that took 2 additional steps. So I soft resetted at that battle. I didn't power on and off, I soft resetted. So the step counter stayed the same by pressing the reset button. instead of powering it on and off. So you can do that instead of using potions to skip battles.
Now, how does that let you just immediately continue without saving, though?
I saved.
Oh,
You just
okay.
didn't notice because it was really fast. You could just save and load so fast in this game. So I'm buying 99 potions with all the sweet cash I got, which is critical for the next glitch. So by having 99 items in an inventory space and winning that item from battle, the game doesn't really know what to do. It attempts to put the item in the next slot, but it does it in a really weird way. If there's another item 2 slots away from the stack of 99, it'll upgrade that item to the next item ID value in like the item table. Or if you place the item at the end of the inventory, at the very end, it attempts to put it past the inventory. Turns out the memory addresses after the inventory are the player's stats table. And that does a wonderful thing. All right, I might get into it. There it is. I have to reset. All right. That's why I made a save. I think I can there's enough stats for me to make it here. All right. The spot. Okay, that's the spot. So I'm going to start with the stats, placing the potions at the end of the inventory. Now here's a very intricate battle manipulation coming up. So luckily Fiesel is still level 1. If we look in here, level 1. In memory, that's 0. So it turns out that Fiesel's level is the next space in memory after the last slot of the inventory. So it'll attempt to put the potion past the end of the inventory. It sees the 0 and says, oh, that's an empty spot. Let's put potion there. And yeah. Oh, did I save both times? Okay, cool. So essentially, Fiesel's level will become potion. I
Level potions.
put it in the wrong spot. All right, I was 1 space too low. I need to be in an exact location. All right, there we go. That's good. So, in addition to knowing when the battle happens at, if I can enter the battle on a certain frame, I can guarantee exactly which enemies appear. And if I perform certain actions throughout that battle, I can guarantee the results of the battle, like the drop. So there's a certain timer value that determines the RNG throughout the battle. At least the initial state of the battle, the timer value will determine. So if I hold start as I power the game on, it skips the initial credits. And if I hold left as I load the save file, I'll immediately begin walking left. That'll enter the battle with the timer value. It's a frame counter that it pauses under certain circumstances, like when you're in the menu or when you're in the save file selection screen or when you're in battle. It pauses in those cases. So I can safely like spend time to select my save file without it messing up. But I want to enter the battle on a certain frame after having entered the world map. And then if I perform certain actions and if I have certain statistics, I can guarantee a potion drop. So as you can see, Fiesel's level is now G7, which is potion. So he's level potion. So now I have a little strange setup. I'm going to do the 99 items trick in addition to using the max inventory glitch from before. So potion's at the end of the inventory again. Now his level is non-zero, so the potion will now go past the level. He has a lot of experience from before, so it'll go past the experience. Fiesel is dead right now, so his HP is 0. It'll attempt to drop into his current HP. I don't want that. I want to drop it into his max HP. So in order to, I can actually temporarily change his current HP by doing the max inventory glitch from before and dropping an eye drop into his current HP. So even though he's dead and it says 0 HP, throughout the course of the next battle, he'll temporarily have a non-zero HP, even though he's dead. And then when I win the potion, it'll drop into the max HP. So let's use that eye drop. But before the turn is over, we fill the inventory up again with our knives and leather shields. So just give me a moment to distribute this stack. It's much less intense as from before because I'm only glitching 1 item. And it's pretty clear cut. In the gin fight, I had to do it with like 17 items in a specific order. So the item ID of eye drop I think is like 167 or 166, I forget which. So the eye drop's item ID value will go into the significant digit of his max HP, which essentially multiplies the max HP by 256 by whatever value it's in there. So right now he only has 32 HP, so in memory it's literally 32 and 0. So 32 plus 0 times 256. So once you get more HP than 256, it'll be 32 times or plus 1 times 256. Well, I put a potion in that that significant digit, so it'll be 32 plus 166 times 256 HP.
That's a big number.
It's like 42,000. So the primary idea behind this is that I get him to level 166, I get him 42,000 health, and you should be able to survive every fight in the game at that point. So the inventory should be just about filled. Remember, I used an eye drop with PJ, but when I filled the inventory, there's no space for the eye drop to go back. The game doesn't really know what to do, so it'll stick the eye drop in the address space after the inventory. So it's almost filled. So of course, if there's an empty spot in the inventory when I cancel out, the eye drop just goes there. But whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, it's kind of waste. Alright, but instead, eye drop will go into more interesting spots. Okay, so it's filled. Now he has a non-zero current HP. It's not represented on the screen. And since I haven't actually taken an action in battle yet, the RNG is still the same from when I entered the battle. I'll do the same thing as before. Cast Ice 2. It should be a strike first encounter, and I'll win a potion. Come on, potion. Boom. Alright. So, I'll show you guys the effect of that in just a moment. 99 B6 HP.
God achieved.
So, instead of placing the potions at the end of the inventory now, I'll place an item 2 slots after it. So the potion that I win, it doesn't successfully drop the potion into this slot. It kind of messes up and drops half of it into this slot. It drops the potion part into the quantity part of this item slot. So I'll essentially get 99 of nothing in this slot in battle, and the 1, which is the quantity of the potion that I win, will be added to the item ID value of this item. So as a result of the next battle, I'll have 99 potions, 166 of nothing, and a Water Fang will be transmuted into an Earth Fang. So this is, so I'm done glitching stats. Now I'm just fabricating a few items to help me with some stuff in the late game.
That is the greatest backpack ever.
All right, I forgot a small setup because we're now going to be using Feasel to. We're now going to be using Feasel to help us win fights. So I kind of messed up a little bit with my positioning here, so I'm just going to make a couple of saves and soft reset until I can resurrect Feasel. I forgot to res him. Okay, we should be good. Alright, so now he finally comes back. Make sure I do the right stuff. Computer's laggy. Alright. Now what's kind of cool in this game is you can swap magic between characters, so I'm just going to have Feasel take all of PJ's spells. Now check this out. His stats, check out his strength. 6, agility 7, not that high. That's because he didn't actually level up. I just changed his level myself. But I can make the game recalculate his stats by changing jobs. Oh shit, I gotta remove the equipment. Alright, that's kind of annoying. So I'll change him back to Onion Kid. Change him back to Red Wiz. And God stats.
These ascended.
Pretty much. And since I changed jobs, he has no more MP. I'm just gonna heal up, and he'll be good for the rest of the game, pretty much. I think that was about it. Now I'm just gonna glitch out a couple of items, like I was mentioning before. So I got a Water Fang from that previous battle. Turns out 2 item IDs above Water Fang, so the next item ID is an Earth Fang after Water Fang. The next one is a loot. You actually normally need a loot to be able to wake up Un later on in the game, but I can fabricate one right now and wake her up early. I'm not sure if my steps are okay. I'm gonna make another save. Might get into a battle before. Yeah. All right. Oh, just in time too. So because Fiesel's doing the damage now, I can't use my previous battle manipulation location because it's a different person doing damage. He has a different level. The RNG is calculated differently. So I have a different setup for the particular stats of Fiesel at this location. And I have Potions and Water Fangs in the right spot now. Make a save here. This is a really convenient battle location, just like the previous one. Even better, actually, because the majority of travel is done in boat, so it's really fast. So hold start, power on and off. Hold left as the game loads. Battle right here. I forgot to unmini. It's Fiesel as mini. All right, so a little bit of slop here, but it's all right. It's all right. All right. Once again. So again, I enter this battle with the timer on a specific value. The timer increments on every frame under certain conditions. So in this battle, I have Fiesel, Ice 2, everybody else attack. Strike first, Fiesel goes first, Ice 2 all, win, potion. And having placed the Water Fang 2 slots after my 99 potions, the game flips out and increments my Water Fang by 1. And now it's an Earth Fang. Do the same thing for an Earth Fang. There's the Earth Fang. So I have to do this for a couple more items, like maybe like 4 more times. So just relax for a moment, and we'll have this done. Look how quickly you can save and reset. It's beautiful. Right. So Fiesel is so high level. Like even though he's winning experience from the battle, it's like he's never leveling up. His stats aren't changing. So the same RNG is occurring every time. So in fact, if you pay close attention, I'm doing the same damage to the enemies every time. So even the damage calculation is the same. So then we now have a loot, which saves a whole lot of stuff later on. And I have a few other things I want to change up. So I picked up Arrow and Cure 2. I don't actually need these spells, but they happen to both be 1 item ID below more useful spells that save also a little bit of time. So I think I put Arrow at the end there.
Yeah.
Also, let's pay attention to these damage values and see if they're the same. I forgot what they were last time, so we have 1280 and 1,000. 1,000 something. Just 1,000. Okay, that's easy to remember. So it'll be the same every time.
Also, any 4-digit damage is really good in this game. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Arrow became Toad. Do that same thing to Cure 2. The Toad is just like a minor shortcut. You actually are supposed to get Toad next before the next. But it makes you walk to Gurgen Valley and talk to these old guys, and they give you Toad, and there's a couple of random battles, and it's, I'm already here glitching stuff. I might as well do it right now. That's the idea. And you don't actually get exit for a little while either. I think you have to go to the Ancients Village and buy exit, and that's kind of far away. So we don't even go to Gurgen Valley or the Ancients Village. Just fabricate exit right here with Cure 2. So now we have a couple of shortcut spells. I'm actually going to go ahead and use them on Fiesel so you can cast them later. And for some reason, the next item ID above Leather Shields, which is the weakest shield, happens to be the strongest shield. Onion Shield. So here we go. I don't actually need to use Onion Shields, but they sell for quite a bit. So yeah. This should give me enough cash to endure to buy anything I want to later on. And all I need to do is buy 99 high potions in the late game to do this glitch again in about an hour from now. So, boom, we have 14 onion shields. And do the same thing to the helmets, just because this is a marathon safe strat. I'm gonna want to equip an onion helmet later on Fiesel to reduce the chance. Well, actually. He has a slight chance of getting instantly killed by a boss. It's like the third to last boss. But if I equip an onion helmet, he'll survive it no matter what. So it's just kind of a safe strat. I don't want that to happen. So this is the last encounter for a while. And I'm gonna do this weird. I'm gonna move to this weird spot, save and reset, and move around a little bit. It's just to fix my route from my emulator. my emulator route. Don't worry about it. I just didn't feel like rerouting it and finding a bunch of extra battle locations. So my emulator route would start here and get into a battle over here. So I'm just going to pretend that I did that. Alright. Now I should be back on track. That's the spot. And I can just use potions to skip encounters now. I don't need the 99 potions anymore. And you need Toad to enter this next area. Conveniently. Oops. Cast Toad on everybody. And in Toad status, you can, it's just like mini status, except for you can't cast any spells other than Toad. From what I understand. You just needed Toad to go through that one little area, and that was it. And this guy says something. Alright, let's go.
Does anybody even remember what he's there for, just to be sacrificed?
No. It's, I can't remember. I did play through Final Fantasy III Remake on, it was released on Android a while back. I can't remember why you're going to the Tower of Owen. I know Desh, the guy who's following me around, has something to do with it. He's like the keeper of the tower or something, and Medusa is here. She's paying, I guess, it's Medusa. I mean, if you have a Medusa in your tower, you gotta take care of her. All right, and this guy says something again. What do you do? Skip the battle here.
Yeah.
I'm just check real quick, make sure I got. Okay, so 14 onion shields and 4 onion helmets. All right. So now, if I accidentally get into a random battle, it's no big deal. I can pretty much survive anything now. But it would waste time, so let's try not to. Let's try to keep on pace. 1, 2, 3. All right. That's right there. Yeah. So in a little bit, you'll see how effective Fiesel is against bosses now. Just two more battles left.
So I guess now is a good time to remind everybody that this is the Awesome Games Done Quick bonus stream. Right now you're watching Final Fantasy III and No Jobs Glitch, done by Duckfist. We are still accepting donations for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We did hit that big 1 million, but we're still going. We're still going strong.
So here's the Medusa fight. There's really not much to it. Well, I do one extra thing in the fight other than kill her instantly. Which is kill everybody else. It takes way too long to sit there and select fight in the next battle, so I'm just gonna off all these guys.
They can't do much anyway.
And look, they all managed to attack, so look at all that time wasted. God. Later.
Yeah, but we don't need it. We got a god in this.
32 times.
Yeah.
Wham!
Is that what happens when you have a god in your list?
It's like at max skill, I think it's 16 hits per arm per weapon.
So I should mention that I call this the no job glitch route. It's job glitch. I mean, I don't glitch characters' jobs. I purposely made Fiesel a red mage and PJ a red mage so that when I did this inventory corruption, it wouldn't glitch out their job. As an Onion Knight, your job is 0, and it would treat that as the empty inventory slot instead of the level. And if an item drops into job, of course there's only like 22 jobs, so the only valid values are 0 through 21. But if you drop a potion in there and your job becomes 166, some crazy stuff starts to happen.